Hey guys, Radar here. Oh yeah, Radar. That is my trail name. That was given to me. It's a good one. I mean, you don't have to take a bad trail name. So yeah, a few days ago, they gave me the name Radar because I like to check the weather apps, and I really enjoy studying the weather. So yeah, that's what I'm being called. Yesterday we went to Franklin, which I talked about a lot, and I got out of Winding Stair Gap this morning around 10, and I'm coming up to Snowbird Gap. But I'll give you a couple updates here in a minute. There's the top of Seiler Bald. That's cool, man. Oh. Seiler Bald Shelters. So I think I was talking about trail names. So yeah, trail names are just kind of a long-standing tradition that, you know, people notice kind of the sum of your characteristics, or maybe a couple of them, and give you a name, and if you like it, you can accept it. If you don't like it, you can go on to something else. And yeah, they gave me the name Radar because I like to go over the weather report in the morning with people. And I also had a couple radar apps back when my phone worked. My phone stopped working, but I do like monitoring, especially the bad weather, because the bad weather is obviously affects us more. Check out this tree. I ran into a guy named Pace Car when I stopped filming earlier. He is from I want to say he's from Memphis, Tennessee, and he's retired, and yeah, knocking down the trail, doing it at a good pace, I guess. And it's awesome meeting people who are retired up here. It's really inspiring to see them. Makes me feel like when I get older, maybe I'll be able to do something like this at an older age, and be awesome to be able to even attempt it, or even have the mind to attempt it. Not that I'm very far from that age anyway. Right now I'm going up Waya Bald Trail. Yep, part of the Appalachian Trail, of course. There's a nice tree. So what else happened? Let's see. So we went and stayed at the Gooder Grove hostel in what's that town called? Franklin, North Carolina. Franklin is a super cool town. If you show up to the Winding Stair Gap, I think at any time there's going to be somebody there who will take you down to a hostel or the Budget Inn or whatever. The Budget Inn is a cool little place right downtown across from Main Street. So there's an outfitter, you know, if you have to hit the outfitter, there's an outfitter downtown, a couple of them, and there's probably 10 restaurants right downtown. And then there's a Walmart right outside of town, post office. It's a good little place. People pick you up if they see you walking, because they know that you're there trying to resupply and get in and get out. We had a gentleman pick us up last night when we were picking up some material from the Ingles grocery store. Even though it wasn't a long drive, I didn't want to go into town and just walk around a bunch. I really wanted to get my feet up. I didn't end up doing it. So yeah, that's what was going on there. Let's see here. So yeah, for today's glossary terms, trail names, we went over that. Let's talk about a tramily. That's a trail family, and my wife, Katie, who's now Nibbles, she was named by the other guys in the tramily. She got her name because she nibbles her food, and then she gives the rest to me, which is normally like more than half of what she makes. So that's where she got that kind of hilarious name. Let's see. We also have Smash and Ace. So it's Ace, Smash, Radar, and Nibbles. And we're kind of traveling together right now. Probably we'll try to get through the Smokies with these guys, and yeah, we're all moving at kind of an average of 15 to 16 miles a day. So yeah, when I got to Winding Stair Gap this morning, there were some trail angels out there, and they were giving away burritos. So I took a couple clementines, which, if you're into doing trail magic, if you're a trail angel, by all means, bring the clementines on. Those things are good. I crushed about 3 of those up the hill. I ate an apple. I still have my breakfast burrito ready to go. So yeah, and then let's see, other glossary terms today. Yesterday we pulled what's called a Nero. So you need to know what a zero is first to understand a Nero. A zero is when you do 0 miles in a day. It's normally when you stop and you kick your feet up and you take a day off and you don't do any miles. And that's called a zero. A Nero is when you put in a few miles and then you take the rest of the day off. And yesterday we did 7 miles, and then we stopped and we got to Winding Stair at 11, and then we just did chores for the rest of the day. Showers, laundry, wore dorky clothes around town because you have to wear laundry clothes, which is totally funny. Had a couple Miller Lights because that's what they were drinking. I'm kind of a Natural Light or Miller High Life Light kind of guy. Only the good stuff for me. And yeah, we had a great stop. It actually felt like we were off trail for a week, even though it was only, a couple hours. So stayed at the Gooder Grove Hostel. Zen is the head of the hostel. Iron Will was running things. I can't remember the guy's name who was helping out, but he was down on an injury, and he said he should be past. He's a fast mover. Probably does like 18 to 20 a day. He'll be passing us somewhere in the Smokies, is what I'm guessing. So yeah, kind of a cool day. Here, I'll show you the trail. And I'm just cruising up to the top of Waya Bald right now. Yeah, the retirement community that's out here. Super cool seeing retired people on the trail. Today, there was Pace Car, who retired from FedEx. We have, and I just passed Happy and Lucky. They're both in their mid-60s, 66, 67. And they're cruising right behind me. I just passed them a couple minutes ago. And like I said before, it's awesome seeing people like that at that age. So anyway, look at this. Bardom Trail. Sweet. Hey. I know there's a book either about him or by him. Huh. Where are we going? 1.6. How are you doing today? Good. Did you stay in town last night? Good. That was nice. Where'd you stay? Baltimore Jacks? Yeah? Cool. Yeah. So the Bardom Trail. the yellow blaze. I can't remember a lot about Bardom. Or it's Bartram, but yeah. there's a trail named after him. He was a naturalist in North Carolina. Did a bunch of work here, I don't know, 100, maybe even 200 years ago. Probably like 200 years ago. And people really, in the state, really revere him, especially in the naturalist community. So there's a trail, and I believe it's 320 some odd miles that kind of meanders through the state. And I'm not sure if that's the alternate route. We passed, I can't remember, it was in a couple days ago, like maybe our first day in. The trail splits right at Springer, and there's an alternate route to go to the Smokies that actually goes through a more remote, less traveled area. Resupplies are a little bit more difficult, and yeah, I'd like to maybe knock down that little portion in the future, go to Klingaman Dome, and then take the Mountain to Seas trail right back to my house, which I've really enjoyed that trail. Go through Asheville on it and drink a couple beers, maybe stay a couple days. They've got great Indian food. They got great food in Asheville, man. Yeah, town I definitely recommend stopping in. They got all the good resupply stores too. Like there's a Trader Joe's, which Trader Joe's is kind of like a, you know, almost like a perfect place to go for resupply. They sell nuts, single serving packets of like coffee, you know, everything comes in like, you know, apartment size portions, and they're not overpriced. But if you want overpriced, you can just go next door to Whole Foods. They're good too, but you can't walk out of there with a dinner for yourself for less than $60, I feel. Anyway, yeah, good day today. It's beautiful. It's been nothing but hard climbing. We're climbing up to 5,000, I believe 5,000 feet today at the top of this bald, which is in another mile and a tenth or so from where I am. So yeah, I hit stop back there because there was another hiker enjoying her lunch, and I don't want to chit-chat my way through a, you know, somebody's time of R&R. Nothing worse than someone walking down the trail with a camera doing their social media updates, but you know how we are these days. Not only that, like I said on my first video, I really am keeping this for my, you know, the posterity, for the family and stuff. I want to have a good chronicle of some of these trails, and it's awesome that we have this technology today, you know, a 4-ounce camera that has a self-stabilizing gimbaled head, gyroscopic gimbaled head, and yeah, it's awesome. So if you ever want to know where you're going, all you got to do in this trail is look for the next highest point. So that's where I'm going. I'm going to follow this ridge from where we are here all the way up to the top of that bad boy. And then I'm going to go down, stop at the shelter, see if my wife's there, and we're going to decide if we're going to go farther. Anyway, we'll see you soon. Check out this tree. I just like the bark is amazing. I don't know what it is, but she's a hoss for sure. Wow. It's crazy. I know one thing. This tree's seen a lot of jerks in its day. Probably a lot of good people too. We always used to say that when we were working in the woods. Sometimes you cross these monstrous trees in the middle of nowhere, and there's no sign of there having been any kind of human. I mean, this is a trail, so people walk by this thing all the time, but some places in the woods, man, there's some trees that are old and haven't been seen by man, you know, except every 30 or 40 years or 20 years when somebody happens to go and, you know, sit underneath its canopy and eat a can of beans. So I knew where there were a couple of those back in my day. I had a couple secret trees that I like to go and visit, just because it's amazing to see a 400 or 500-year-old tree. Everyone says, "Oh, it's just a big tree." Yeah, it's a little more than that. Pop quiz. What kind of tree is this? Those are the leaves that are dropping. I can't remember what it is. I'm going to make myself an idiot and say that I think it's a chestnut oak, but I don't see any chestnuts laying around. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, this is the kind of tree that we're running into up here right now. So if you see this video, go ahead and do me a favor and tell me what that tree is in the comments below. You can see them, some of them here, they got these really nice, well, these ones are a little bit different. I don't know what this is with this shaggy bark. I should know because I was just at the little Marion Arboretum in Marion, North Carolina. You walk along the creek and there's all the trees and it tells you what they all are. It's pretty amazing, but look at that thing. She's shaggy. Anyway, you can see there's some disease that's been up in here wiping things out. Another cool thing to look up would be the chestnut, the American chestnut blight, I think is what it was called. Back in the early 1900s, it killed off all the American chestnuts. That's why that wormy chestnut wood can be worth a lot of money sometimes, especially when it's found in bulk. There are a lot of houses all over the Carolinas that are made out of it, and you go out to these old farmhouses and they're a couple, you know, you get underneath them and you'll see that they're all made out of big old hand-hewn chestnut beams. It's pretty cool, even though the houses just look like a standard, like an American style farmhouse. Yeah. What's going on with this thing? What is that? Just came from right over here. Threw some trash in the trash can, and now we're gonna head up to the top of this thing. I guess it's the Wyabald Lookout Tower. Not sure if you could see that runway down there. It's like the kind of airport you fly into and get killed in the wrong conditions. I guess you'd fly down that from that long ridge or that far ridge. You'd fly down that valley, and then you'd make your way into the pattern and then fly out that way too. Wow. It's very cool. I was just over on that bald when I started this morning.
Start growing roots at that time, don't you? After an hour, you start growing roots. Sure, it's a nice place to stop, though.
So, let's see, that peak right there, that's Albert Mountain. That's where we were a couple nights ago, walking through. Check this out. It's a birch. It's crazy. Got this little birch grove going on right here. Kind of right in the middle of this nice green lush spring. It's pretty sweet. Look at this. Looks like an old American chestnut stump right out there, kind of in the distance. This is amazing. Yep, there it is, the birch bark. Well, I caught back up to the wife. Ran into her at the Waya Bald shelter, which is a mile northbound, maybe a mile and a half northbound of Waya Bald, on the way down the hill. And now we're heading down to some gap that's 3 miles away. I don't know the name of it. On the alert of trail magic, trail angels today. Maybe feeding hot dogs. See, isn't this pathetic? Katie and I have come to call trail magic trail expectation. And that's because you expect trail magic at every major gap. And if it's not there, then you get mad because your entitlement to a hot dog, a hamburger, a delicious soda pop, some cookies, maybe a little fruit is let down, and then that's what you do. You get mad, right? But not us. We have plenty of food in our bags. What's nice is we were thinking we're gonna have to stop in Fontana and add to our resupply before we enter the Smokies. But the Smokies is about 5 days wide. 4 if you push it to 19 miles for like 2 days. That was just the big talk of Franklin. That's all anyone was talking about in Franklin, is going through the Smokies. Other things to look forward to in Fontana in the next couple days. I think it's 50 miles out or so, 60 miles out. There's apparently the nicest shelter. They have actual real showers there, real bathrooms that flush apparently. So, you know, we'll go and enjoy that as well. I'm always game for a shower. In the forecast, you know, we're looking at rain in the evening tomorrow, late afternoon. The humidity is definitely blowing in right now. It's warm today. It's 70 down in Franklin, so that puts us at about 63 up here at 4,500 feet. We're supposed to have snow on Tuesday, And that's Tuesday. We should be in the Smokies, so that's going to be tricky to deal with the super cold weather at the high altitude. So we'll definitely have to figure out how to do that. But yeah, here we are working our way down. And if there's no trail magic, then we'll just keep on going, try to reach our daily goal of 16 miles, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it'll be 15 and change. Cold Spring Gap is what the word is. Just a beautiful day in North Carolina, which I love. And in other news, yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of green in the grass on the trail. You can see it down here. And the songbirds are coming in. So we're starting to see some migration north of the songbirds. And I love listening to songbirds during the day. It's like my favorite thing. So anyway, we will check in later. So if you want to know what trail magic looks like, check this out. It's the Green Mountain Brigade from Alabama. They set us up. I mean, if you can outdo this, you may win, but I don't know yet. This is amazing. They got nuts, dates, prunes, treats, charging station, tents, reenactors, games, a fire, cool people. And these guys over here are making chili and vegetable soup. Can you show me some of the chili and vegetable stew for this? I just want to put it on camera. This is cool. So here's the chili, which was phenomenal. And then check this out. Look at this. That's amazing. And that's what I'm in the middle of right now. That and some fresh biscuits, right? And then you got these guys back here doing what men with axes do. Throw things and chop wood. It's sweet. Check it out. Yeah, this has been awesome. So, here you go. Oh, man. And here, I'm going to sit down on my biscuit.
Which means have a big breakfast.
Thank you. That was fun. And there it was. That's what trail magic looks like. Back on the trail. Dude, you go ahead, man. My heels are sore. I